What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Hold up. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. This is Virgil. How to improve your creative process. Jesus. Before we even get started with this video, y'all be sure to get the merch, y'all. Get the merch in the description below. Y'all be sure to listen to the Atlanta Boy So Full of Life. You know what I'm saying? In the description below, of course. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. You see how I did that? Yes, Let's get into it.
Equally as valuable.
Be sure to
I
like and
embrace
subscribe.
imperfection as much as I embrace the pursuit of perfection.
A lot of people may be familiar with Virgil Abloh through name drops in multiple high-profile rap songs, while some are familiar with his work in the fashion industry, from being the head designer of menswear at Louis Vuitton, or through his own brand Off-White, which has had multiple hyped-up pieces and collaborations with major brands like Nike. Even if you aren't familiar with his name, you are most definitely familiar with Virgil's cultural impact on design and fashion. But one of Virgil's biggest contributions that is often overlooked was his commitment to helping young creatives enhance their output and elevate what they are making.
So today we're going to sit with Jordan and go through his brand Highplan to sort of pick out the elements that are the strongest and areas that he can work on. I'm really going to be looking for an original concept and like a fresh aesthetic. Hey, that's good.
What's up, man? How you doing?
How you doing? Virgil.
Jordan, nice to meet you, man.
Pleasure.
Dang, you tall, man. I was like,
That's good. How's it going so far? Cool. So explain sort of what this reference material is that we're looking at.
so just as like a general basis, I brought a bunch of images that kind of represent words that represent my brand, things that I pull influence from, pull a lot of references from the Army and cartoons. So I have the military references. I really like the camel prints. You see the snow camel print. I really like the pockets. I get like a lot of influence from like the military. The reason I put the Olympics in the center with the flags is because that's kind of like the whole message around my brand. I like to try and include like the worldwide aspect, as you see on like the wall right there. Worldwide is like my whole thing. Also, you have like the sports reference. I grew up like really big on sports, play tennis, basketball. Was really big on that, so I looked into like the fashion. So you have the jerseys, the varsity jackets that come as a result of playing football and basketball. So I've been really influenced in that type of fashion. Like, then over here you have like a lot of like comic references. I do a lot of research and I like spend a lot of my time reading like old vintage comics. So you'll see a lot of these are like military, controversial, like horror comics. So you see at the top, Mystery Tales is like a horror comic. It's one of my favorite covers. You see The Tunnel of Nowhere. It's really kind of like sci-fi type stuff, but I use these comics as like a reference for like graphic influence.
There's like a lot of things that come to mind, I think, for your brand, but also for like other people taking the course based on like the similar type of approach to what your brand is. I think one of the greatest lessons that I've learned in building sort of like my sort of career path in like streetwear or fashion is, in an ironic way, is like being very concise. Because your life, especially like a young life, it's like absorbed by like things that you've been into like very passionately. And then you know, when you start a brand, you can often try to like whip them all together to make one big story. But the less it is, the stronger it is. The more focused, the more, you know, when your brain starts drawing parallels between, say, like Olympics, Nintendo, and anime, then it can start to get a little bit like fuzzy as to like what does the brand really mean? You know, like the biggest trick in design that I use is just like hyper focus and then repeat. When I see this, I see like 7 brands. You know, 7 strong brands. You said some amazing like things that you might not even realize because you're so like into the whole world that, you know, this is you, and then you have one brand. You know, it's also smart to realize it's like you don't just have one brand in you. You know, it's like there could be more. So you should consider like focusing in on that and not everything else. Like, and you kind of highlighted it maybe accidentally when you're talking about the anime. You know, it's like this sort of like global thing, but it's like it's localized to subtitles here. And, you know, like that's a super strong concept. Like you could design.
After analyzing Jordan's brand, Virgil noticed that his ideas were great, but crowded, creating an unclear brand identity. The advice Virgil gave Jordan for focusing his brand would prove to be extremely helpful. Highplan Now specializes in officially licensed anime collabs, selling popular items like hoodies, rugs, and t-shirts featuring characters from multiple anime shows.
Oh shit.
Today, Jordan and his brand Highplan are doing amazing.
We out here at the Highplan Hello Kitty Carnival. We're going crazy right now. Look, man.
That's beautiful. Dog,
Virgil's
that's
suggestion
beautiful.
of being more simple and concise with branding did not come from a random place. It is actually a part of a larger creative process that Virgil had worked years to perfect.
Essentially, you know, understanding that this way of thinking can apply to everything. So this is the first time I'm debuting a new wave. It's called these red slides. These red slides are cheat codes. Basically, if you can answer them, you basically give yourself a cheat code. And it's things that I've had to learn. I basically work at a feverish pace in a self-serving way just to find my signature. Like, what's my DNA? So what I would challenge you in your work, no matter what, is go back. You know, go back to when you were like, your earliest memories, or the way that you thought to organize something, the way you thought to organize your closet, or what colors were your favorite. That's when your DNA started. And for me, that sort of leads me to my next slide, which I'm super proud of, because it's the first time I've ever thought about what I'm doing and sort of made myself make a list. This is straight from the iPhone notes. You know, these are things that I've figured out through working, is that we exist off the backs of many other things and iterations before us. Number two for me is obviously this thing that's probably getting a little bit tired, but get used to it because I'm going to keep using it. It's talking in quotes. So there's that. Then I have my sort of like 3% approach. Right now, I'm only interested in editing something 3% from its original form. I'm basically tired. I might be too old, but I found that I'm like, things are intriguing to me when they're like slightly edited, like these shoes. You know, like this is an Air Force One. Yeah, the Jordan way. But like, essentially, I got asked to do another Air Force One. This is like a new one. But I was only interested in restraining myself and only editing it 3%, because I don't want another shoe. I want to see something that makes me recognize the shoe that I already have, but it's a personal thing.
Finding your personal design language is important to any creative.
It is.
It helps to streamline your creative output when producing anything from music to painting a picture. Developing a defined personal design language also
The
helps
reason
you
why I'm
create a
looking like
signature
this and
style
like that
when working on
is
creative projects.
The computer's right
Virgil
there,
Abloh
so I'm
was
not
always open to
looking
sharing
at it.
advice to help young creatives. He even started a YouTube channel that is dedicated to sharing information about brand building, with videos that include information on creating inclusive content, building a brand's DNA, and how to define a newsworthy company. The channel even includes a couple of Virgil's DJ sets. Before he passed, Virgil Abloh did his best to spread useful information that could help creatives succeed. I would advise anyone who wants to do something artistic or creative to check out some of the videos Virgil has left on his YouTube channel. Remember, improving on your creative process is important to understanding your vision.
That was very deep. What I got from this is don't have so many things going where you end up stuck. Capture one main thing that you want to do it to the best of your ability. Or capture two main things or two things that you're so good at and you're so like that describes your brand, that describes you as the artist and just work on that. And then once you get success off of that, you keep growing. Because like you said, it's beautiful that you see yourself with multiple brands. That's a beautiful thing. But you have to be smart about it. You can't do 500 things at once. I get that. But you just have to, like it says right there, understanding your vision. But I'm saying you have to understand your vision, honestly. If you don't understand your vision, I don't know what to tell y'all, because I'm a young creative / artist myself, so I'm still trying to understand certain things. But I feel like I am able to give advice to a degree, but not even just advice, but like I can even like show people what I'm saying by like showing them what I'm doing, like in a sense of, okay, I'm saying you should do this and do this. Let me show you why. Well, go deeper in detail, show you in person, show you over video call, something. I could do that. But like he said, I'm gonna start watching Virgil Abloh when I get off all these making these videos. I'm gonna start watching him, learning stuff from him. And yeah, that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Rest in peace. It's a genius, man. He's wanted to help young youth, black creatives, and creatives in general, but especially black creatives, because you know how it is. I can't walk into a lot of rooms and get ideas placed on the wall and like, yeah, we're gonna use that. That's smart. I have to have 50,000 or 100,000 followers. I have to have X amount of dollars I'm putting up for like, I'm good. But that being said, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Stay tuned to the next video. Be sure to listen to Atlanta Boy So Full of Life. Peace.
Mario the poet.